lovely people, welcome to Zop Lady, welcome to my channel once again. And today I have a special guest. I spoke with him a few days ago and then he made mention of a triangle. And I'm sure you and I want to know exactly what this triangle means. And I'd like to give him the opportunity to introduce himself to us.
Yes, thanks, Zop Lady. So my name is Josef. I'm actually from Germany, but I know South Africa for a long time. I came here for several reasons, and some of these reasons may match with my triangle I told you yesterday. So what is my triangle? My triangle is the combination between different activities. So sometimes you have learned to focus on one discipline and to be the best in this discipline, to be successful. My experience is that you have to combine different things, and my fields of activities are defined by scientific activities. I originally studied physics and astronomy. By science, by my triangle is defined by the three disciplines: science. I originally studied physics and astronomy. By making business, doing business, being an entrepreneur and starting some companies. And of course, being active in politics. So I'm not paid for it, it's not salary. It's a voluntary job. In my regional area, in my parliament, I'm a member of a small parliament in the regional parliament, but I'm active in different fields of activities. And I'm doing this for 40 years now.
40 years?
Yes, I'm an old man, yes. So I'm doing it when I finished my school and studying physics. I already started with politics in a youth organization of a party and then grow up in that as well. So that's my triangle, being an entrepreneur, coming from scientific ground base and doing politics. And all in my life is somewhat characterized by these three disciplines.
So you've heard about the three disciplines that he's actively involved, and he also says that you should not just stick to one, but a combination of one or two or more. But I also want to find out from him, what drives your passion for politics in the first place?
Let me first ask the first part of your question. I didn't say that it's wrong to focus on one discipline. We need people who are brilliant in electronics or mechanics or economic jobs. We need them, but we need also people who are building bridges between these different activities. So studying electronics, for example, doesn't help you to define new products or new businesses. You need people from other disciplines and combine it to start a successful business and so. So what we need is building bridges, combining these different disciplines, these different activities. And that's also my reason for doing politics. Because I don't want to teach people what is better and what's worse and how to do. I want to do it myself. I want to decide myself what is the wrong way, what is the right way. And it starts in your parliament, in your regional parliament, in your city, in your hometown, where you're living, even in the rural areas or whatever. Politics is not to get money or to be powerful or to be you don't do politics for yourself. You do politics for the community, for the other people, to help them to solve problems and to find solutions. And that was what I'm doing. So I'm trying to take the knowledge coming from science, not only to develop new businesses and products, but also to develop new social activities, new political solutions and so on. And all the time when I tried to go in one of these corners of this triangle, I failed. So there are always better people, they are better in physics, they are better in business, they are better in politics. But if you combine it, if you have your core in the middle between these three, you are able to build these bridges.
So if we have a young person who is watching this interview and then he wants to find out in which direction should that person be like you, not exactly like what you are doing, but would you advise people to have the triangle or to rather focus on one thing that they think they are good at?
Both. You must
Both.
You must be good in some discipline.
Yeah.
You have to learn some skills and some facts what you need to work.
Yeah.
But you must open it for different perspectives.
Okay.
So it's even good to change the side, go to the other side, and say, okay, if I'm on the other side of the river, what looks it like from this side? So you must be good. You must be good in school. You must be good at university, wherever you learn in vocational trainings and so on.
Yeah.
You must be good. Try to be not good, but only the best. Yeah, no, but you have to be good.
You don't have to be mediocre. You have to give out your best shot.
Yes, give your best, what you are doing best.
Yeah.
And then try to transfer it to the other world and say, okay, with this knowledge, what can I do in the other field of activity?
Yeah. Okay. So when you were talking about politics, you did mention that when you go into politics, it shouldn't be for self, but rather for a change you want to make in society. But since you've been in Africa for a long time, of course, I'm an African, and then we see that most of our politicians have more self-interest than to offer service for the society and social good. So what would you advise upcoming youth who wants to go into politics? Must they really go into it for their self-gratification, or they should go into politics to make a change in society?
The last.
Why
because
should
politics are defined for the people and to change the conditions for the people.
Yeah.
So I'm a member of a Christian Democratic Union, so a Christian-based party, and of course my goal is to create a better world. It's okay. You must have this vision to be better. And the greatest problem, and that's a triangle as well. We have a pyramid with 10 million people living in really good conditions. Sometimes better than in Europe. So much big and expensive cars on the street you won't see in my home country. It's only here, but it's only 10 million, and the other 40 million have nearly nothing, and that's wrong. And other African countries
my
as
country
well,
like this in Ghana at the moment.
Do you have good conditions, especially South Africa, especially because we have infrastructure, we have minerals, we have the sun, we have very good soils, we have resources, we have good educated people. So that's a really good opportunity to create a world where people want to live together. Like Nelson Mandela called it, a rainbow nation.
So I also want to find out again, since I'm dwelling more on politics, after that I think I will go into his lecture activities. But then for now, I want to find out from you, both in Europe, Africa, Asia, we see that we have old people rather at the apex of politics. Why are they not bringing the young people along? Because in Germany, I mean, just yesterday, Brazil election, you have two old men competing, and now the ex-president Lula da Silva won the election. This is also an old person. But why is that they are not pushing the young people, mentoring the young people to take over? Because the future is for the young ones and not for the older ones.
Yes, of course. You can't answer this in general because there are some elder people like me who are pushing the young ones.
Yeah, but we don't see that.
The young people must be they must be ready for doing politics, and they must be willing to do it. They must engage themselves. So I started my political career, it's not a career, my activities, as a young man, and I was, how old was I? 27. I was 27 years old when I was a candidate for the German Parliament. For the Parliament, not for the region. So I did it with 27. No, I wasn't not being elected because I was just starting my activities, but I did it. So we have a lot of young people. Even now, the last elections in Germany, a lot of young people have entered the parliament now. So they must be willing to do it and not to focus only on their own career, but give part of your own career to all your other people. And sometimes there are people they have not these conditions to do like you. And if you have good conditions, try to use it to help other people as well.
Yeah, there's also some school of thought that politics is like a mafia game, because sometimes that is what maybe it's also making some youth not to really go into it, because sometimes you have a promising young person who wants to put him or herself away, but before you realize that person is either assassinated. So this is some of the reason why some young people would not want to offer themselves to serve in that capacity. So is that assertion true that politics has some shadow parties that we do not know? Or it's just free for all? It's for just some particular group of people?
That's one of the problems with politics in Africa. So because the democratic structures who can stop these negative developments are not strong enough. In some countries we do not have any democratic structures, so that is a real problem, and it has been recognized in Germany and in all Europe that that Africa in its whole is the nation of the other nations of the future, and we decided to help in case of to give our experiences and our money as well to African countries to develop themselves, but they must do it themselves. It's not a change coming from outside, it's coming from inside. You have to learn. It starts with the education system. If you have bad primary schools, the students I'm teaching them later cannot be as good as if you have well organized basic schools. So I'm as an extraordinary professor, so my home professorship is in Germany, but as an extraordinary professor, and I see these young students, they are really interested, they are engaged, they are really, but they have to learn so much which they had not learned before. So it starts with education. Education is the key to solve a lot of problems in the world, and then from this education we can start to create new jobs and new activities. But you have to bring yourself and your qualifications and your engagement into the system, and then also into politics. That's the only way to change it, not from outside.
Okay, so you've given us some tips up to how we can do it and do it better. Okay, now you made mention of education. This education that you are talking about, is it just formal education, just read and become a minister or a director, or are you also talking about technical vocational skills as well?
Yes, of course. So when I'm asking my students, I remember it, we run 2 or 3 times a winter school in Port Elizabeth with German and South African students, mixed groups. It was really interesting. Because both sides are learning from
each other. Those exchange programs.
Yes, and when I asked the South African students, what is your goal? What is your job you want to have? I will be a manager. A manager. What is a manager? So a manager manage something. You can have it on a low level, on a high level, whatever. I want to be a manager. If I'm a manager, I've got money, I've got car, I've got house. No, if you got your job, then you have to work, then the work starts. It's not the way up. And that means that the vocational trainings are very, very important for growing up an economy. You can't do it from the management, you can't do it from downstairs. So in my university, I'm teaching in Germany. I'm in the Institute of Dual Study Programs. What means dual study programs? That means that my students are all employed also in a specific company. So they are employed in a company, the company sends them to university, and they are 10 weeks at university learning all these facts and all these theoretical things and all the literature you need, and then they're going to 12 weeks to their company, and then they have to reflect what they've learned in theory and look how it works in practical solutions. And they have to identify some aspects and have to reflect on it and say, okay, we learned it like this and then doing that. And sometimes they're coming back to the next semester and said, hey, prof, you told us to do it like this and like that. In my company, we are doing it totally different and it works. Why? And they're asking me why. So this reflection between theoretical learnings and practical work, that's what we need. And especially in South Africa, the government is running these vocational training projects just on an apprentices level, because it's very important to have good educated workers and apprentices on that level.
Yeah. Okay. So when you did mention about the exchange program of the Germans and then the South Africans, and when you asked the South Africans what they wanted to become, you said they wanted to be wealth managers. I'm interested in knowing what the Germans said. The German students said what they wanted to be.
They wanted, yes, I'm asking them, of course.
Yeah.
I'm asking
So
why do you
response?
study, why do you studying, why you make a dual study, learning and working both. And most of them said, because I want to be able to change something. Something for myself, of course, to earn money and so, but to change something in my company, in the society, in the environment. So they feel somewhat responsible. Responsible. You must be responsible. Not looking for the state or the government that they must do. No, you are responsible for part of this. And it starts in your direct environment. Take responsibility for these things and it works.
Yeah, so that means the foundation of the German education really equip these students to think the way they are thinking. I also heard Germany education is free. How true is it? Is education free from which level to which level?
In general, education is free.
Okay.
From the primary school, when the kids are 5-6 years old, up to the metric, if they want to go to university. The education system doesn't want to earn any fee for that. That's paid by the government. But we have also additional private structure with private schools and private universities. They are most specializing on special facts and so. But in general, it's free, so everybody is able to study. Everyone is able to go to school. But they have to fulfill, of course, the requirements of the school.
Exactly. Okay. So I also want to pose the same question to you again regarding those exchange students that came to South Africa. Now in Ghana, when you ask a student what they want to become in future, I want to study and then travel outside the country. As a lecturer, imagine you're in Ghana and you have these students and they're telling you that they want to travel outside the country. What advice would you give to such students?
I would ask why.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the economy is not the
because
best.
the economy is bad. Yes, but the economy in the European countries isn't such better. We have to work hardly for it.
Yeah.
So that's a lack of understanding or a misunderstanding. I told you about this winter school in Port Elizabeth we run, and the South African students, they discussed with our German students, and then they went, wait, you have to work to get money for your flying ticket here to coming to South Africa. You have worked for several months to get money for this ticket and so. But Germany is a rich country. Why didn't you take only a ticket and fly? No, the student said we have to work for it. We have to work for it. So it's a misunderstanding. If you come to Europe, you have more opportunities, but you have to work hard. You have to really work hard. And of course, we have economic problems as well. Of course, on a higher level. So nobody is in poverty in our country, but we have also poor people, and so that's a requirement to our society as well, to organize it, that we have some rich people and we have poor people, and we have to organize the social system in between.
Yeah. Okay. You just said something which really caught my attention, that there are no really poor people per se, or you see somebody on the street begging in Germany. But my visit to Germany some time back, I saw some people on the street, especially at the bus filling station or the bus stations, begging for alms, or they are drunk. So those people.
That's a small number.
There's a small number. Okay. Are they really Germans, or they are other people from
both.
other?
They're refugees as well as Germans, of course. But it's all over the world. You have different.
So there are beggars all over the world, Europe or Africa.
All over the world. And of course, you have people who do not want to work and try to live on the street. That's their decision. So, but we have a good system to catch them, to bring them back to work. No, the problem in the old German or European countries and the African companies is the different pyramid of generation. So we in Germany we do have a lot of old people. So especially my age is the strongest group in our society. So we have 2/3 of old people and 1/3 of young people.
Wow.
And that's a huge problem because these young people must finance the older one when they are retired and so on. So in the most African people, you have 10% elder people and 90% young people.
Yeah,
so the young people must do it. The young people must do it. And there was a conference 2 weeks ago in Pretoria where I attend on the future of work in the fourth industrial revolution and so on. And I was very happy to see that a lot of young people attend this conference and they said, yes, we want to do something, we want to push the system, we want to work, we want to create new companies, we want to do it. So let them do. And some old people on the stage and they said, no, I have no idea how to solve it, let's do it by the youngest. So
that's good.
So use your opportunity is that you have a lot of young people. Don't look on the unemployment rate, it's terrific, very, very bad, but look on the opportunities you have to change it.
Oh, thank you so much. Whilst you were talking, you said, you did mention that you've been in South Africa in and out since the 1990s. And the question I would like to pose to you is that, what are some of the fond memories you have about South Africa, which makes you come in, year out?
When I came in first, it was in 1992, and it was a very quiet and peaceful and also friendly situation. So the negotiations about the end of the apartheid are going on between Mandela and de Klerk, and it was very quiet in sense of peaceful, friendly, and all people are looking forward. And I saw all these opportunities I mentioned before with a good with a really rich nature and the minerals and all what is in here, and I said that are really great opportunities, and I would like to be part of it. And so I came in first as a young scientist. I studied astronomy and I observed stars, measured stars at the Sutherland Observatory. Later I came back to South Africa as an entrepreneur. I guided small and medium-sized German enterprises to South Africa. And now I'm back as a professor at Stanford University.
Wow, so you see that triangle that he has.
The triangle is also existing in South Africa.
But have you visited Ghana before?
No, I've never been.
I think you should visit Ghana someday.
I met some politicians from Ghana, the president and so on a conference in Germany sometimes, and they were very active and engaged. But I have to look for myself.
Yes, you should.
How the reality really is.
Exactly. So, as an expert in politics, science, and business, I want you to look into the camera. Now it's going to be focused on you, to give advice to the youth.
Okay, so my advice to all the young people here is take your opportunities, take it yourself, don't wait for others, do it yourself, try to find partners, friends to do it together with them, and ask the older one to share their experience. But you are the one who will define the future and design the future, and you're responsible also for that. That's my advice. Do it yourself. You can do it.
I had an interesting discussion. I'm sure you also enjoy watching this video. And on that note, Zop Lady would like to say a big thank you for watching. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about who? Zop Lady, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye-bye. Can you watch to my viewers? Bye-bye.